This was one topic that was supposed to be completed today. There is one last topic which is left for us to complete, which is known as using Canvas apps in different platforms. So what are these platforms where Canvas apps can be consumed? Okay, we are going to see two platforms. Are we ready to start with the last topic?
Yes, sir.
All right. We are going to see how Canvas apps can be used in Microsoft Teams and how they can also be used in SharePoint. So there are two things that we are going to see very quickly. You have to do this along with me. So you can practice this out with me and see that you can use Canvas apps in Microsoft Teams. You can also use it in SharePoint. Let's start with SharePoint first. In SharePoint, so in order to go to SharePoint, I go to Microsoft Edge. And then I go here to Power Apps. And then I pay attention to the left corner app launcher icon right over here. And I move towards SharePoint. So all apps. And where is my SharePoint? This is here. I have a lot of apps in my application. And I know that my team is always coming here in this particular site. And I want them to access that application right from here. So what I do is I introduce that application in this particular site. I click on edit on the right corner, which divide this into various sections. So you can see that there are a lot of sections here. Here I introduce a new web part. In this web part, I know that I can use Canvas applications. If you cannot find it, then just go ahead for Power Apps. Okay, and add an app. When you click on add an app, you have right corner information to enter a web link or an ID. Web link or an ID is information about that application. So when I go to apps, back to apps, and I have an application, I have a lot of Canvas applications here. Okay, this is application 1. I click on that application. This is how it will appear on a browser. But I want this application to be consumed on SharePoint. So I need details about this application. So I go here, I click on details. In details, I have web link available. I also have an application ID available. I copy that application ID. I can also use web link. I go back to the SharePoint. Here I paste the application ID and that application will now start loading up right over here. So now the people who are part of my team who are using SharePoint can utilize this application right from here. This is one way. So while you are using it in SharePoint, you must understand that application ID is important, or you can use it using the web link. And that is how they can be utilized in SharePoint. You see my Canvas application is right over here. I can only use Canvas apps here. The second way or the second place where I can use application is Microsoft Teams. In Microsoft Teams, I can add applications. How would I do that? Teams and SharePoint is a place where people collaborate. So these are also known as collaboration services. And I know that many people will belong to this team. We did make a team, which is a Fabricam team, which has general and HR department. In this, you wanted to have that application. So it's very easy. It's a very easy way to add an application right over here in Microsoft Teams. You need to understand that in Teams, there are different channels, general channel, HR departments, and here you have different sections. So post, files, wiki, these are different sections. I can add a Power App sections as well. I can add Power BI, Power Automate sections as well, Power BI as well. So everything that we are looking for Power App is also applicable to. Where did it go? Yeah, here. Is also applicable to Power Automate. For the first time, it might ask you to add the link between Microsoft Teams and Power Apps. Once it has added that link, you would be able to see all of this information where your application will all start loading up. Application 1, application 2. OK. These are all the apps. Application 1, from Vibhor Sharma, application 1 and navigate. I'm going to use the navigate and save. Remember, when you share this application on Microsoft Teams, you also need to share this application with all the people that belong to Teams. Otherwise, they will receive an error about insufficient permission, or they will receive an error that you do not have permission to view this application. So sharing it from Power Apps is also necessary, but only for the easement so that they can access that application right from here. You can introduce it right over here. Guys, let me know any questions, any queries.
No, sir.
Easy thing, you can all try that out. It's not a rocket science. It's very easy to introduce this application to SharePoint, and it is very easy to introduce this application to Microsoft Teams as well.
Yes, sir, here we can add like which is we like created the applications. Like there are so many applications like created.
Yeah, one of them, yes.
We can add here. Yes.
That's
and
right.
the first thing, sir, before what you like teach to us, sir, like so I was confused, sir, like in your first section, sir.
Which one?
The previous chapter, sir.
Oh, that was SharePoint.
Yeah.
So here it is in SharePoint, same thing. No, not a difference. This is a SharePoint. Have you used SharePoint before?
No, sir.
Oh, no issues. So generally in any organization, SharePoint is a place where everyone will collaborate. So like this SharePoint also has a lot of ways. SharePoint can be used to, have documents in one place, or you can create a list which can act as a database. And it is generally for a team which would like to collaborate. And it's like a web page. So it's within that web page, you can introduce your Canvas app as well. Abhishek. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any question from you?
I'm not talking about the like SharePoint, sir. I'm talking about the previous topics like database security needed, sir. Like it was very confusion, sir.
Yes, yes. So that would be clearing up in a while. Confusion as if let me know specific of it. What exactly was not understood by you?
Like, sir, you are like talking about like hierarchical security level, and so like how to connect.
That is for Microsoft databases. Yes. Database. I think Microsoft Dataverse creating a data model is something which were done in the initial days, right? Abhishek, Chandan and all. We first created a data model.
Yes, yes.
Yes. So Sumit, that is linked with creating data model and then how you share that data model. So right now, what we learned today was how security can be implemented for that data model, basically. And by this example, we did understand that how security can be managed. By security, we simply mean that how you can enable and disable users from accessing your information that belongs to the table. Like, like this particular example, right? Business unit 1 and 2 and 3. And Vibor belong to business unit 1. So you assign them a business unit level record, which is done right over here in the admin center. So admin center, environment, security, security role, new role. Let's just say if you are creating a new role, you say that this is business unit 1 role. You created that role. You want to add certain people to this role and you want to give certain accesses to them. Let's just say for account table, you want to give them organization level access. So you would come here and do this thing for the account table. So these roles can also go specific for tables. These are all the tables in your Microsoft Dataverse. In custom entity section, you would find your custom tables that has been created. So these are not system created tables. These are some custom created tables by the administrator itself. Right now, what is type of access? What type of record will this new security role will be able to create in the account table?
Organization.
Organization. Very good. If I don't give this, they cannot create any record, any table. They cannot access any table. They cannot access records from any table. But I want them to read records from account table. What type of record? User level. I want them to read business unit level record. If I want them to read organization level record, this is what it is.
All can read.
So in the account table, people belonging to this particular security role, which is the new security role, can read organization level records of account. Right? Now let's just say I share an application with this user. Vibor belong to new security role. I share an application with Vibor where I have used account table. OK. And that account table has mixture of records. There are user level record that has business unit level record that have organization level record. So for application 1, Vibor will only see records that are of organization level.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
If I'm going to create another security role where I'm not providing account level access, but I am providing access to contact. And here Vibor can create organization level contact records. For the same application, I can create another record. I can create another security role, right? Where I can say that users should only be able to read. So I may create a new security role 2 and assign it to Chandan. Now Chandan can only read contact level or can only read organization level records in that contact. So that's all the overall security concept is. And that's why to understand security level, we must also understand the business units and the hierarchy, how it is generally in an organization. And using the same concept, what is in the organization or what is in the industry, Microsoft Dataverse also execute those sort of securities. These security roles that you create can be assigned to a user, they can be assigned to a business unit, they can be assigned to a teams, so that there is a uniformity in the security that you implement. By this, we have ended our training, which was of almost 30 days, right? This was a 30 hours of training based out of Power Apps and Power Automate. At the end of the few minutes, I would like to consume and I would like to take your mind towards everything that we have covered till now. Okay. Are you ready for the summarized version of our training?
Yes.
Okay, let's understand what are the things that we have covered, and you can answer me one by one. So what is the first thing that we learned?
Licensing and
I think we understand what was Microsoft Power Platform, right? How many tools are there in Microsoft Power Platform?
4.
Four tools.
BI, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agent.
Okay, Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate. Very good. And Power Virtual Agent. Okay, perfect. Which two tools this training was focused on?
Power Apps and
Power Apps and Power Automate.
Power Apps and Power Automate. So this training was really designed to let you know about Power Apps and Power Automate. What is the first thing that we learned in Power Apps was the licensing option, right? We understand that there are certain licenses. There is Plan 1. And there is also
for apps plan and
2.
for
Yeah, per flow plan and per user plan. The only difference between Plan 1 and Plan 2 is that it will let you create environments. Plan 2 will let you create environments and will let you create Dataverse. To access Dataverse, you need to have Plan 2. Right now, you can see that your environment would have been deleted, but within the Plan 1, there is Microsoft Dataverse that still exists. That access would also be removed in upcoming days.
So it means why it is there means if Plan 2 is the only access to Dataverse, in Plan 1 how it will be there?
See, for creating Dataverse, you required Plan 2, right? So within your default environment, there is actually a dataverse. So dataverse will not be removed. So data cannot be removed, but your access to dataverse will be removed, which means you, after the trial period ends, which might extend to 60 days as well, or 90 days, you would be able to access Microsoft Dataverse.
Can we create new table in Dataverse with plan 1? Means after the end of the plan 2, there is only plan 1, but we want to create table in Dataverse.
Right now you can, but at the end of the trial period, you won't be able to. You would need to buy those services. So for managing Dataverse, you need to have at least one plan 2 license. Not for everyone, but for at least one user, there should be a plan 2 license. Is it understood?
Yes.
Perfect. Now, going forward, we learned few other things as well. Okay. We understand that there are plan 1 and plan 2, but we also understand that there are 3 types of resources that can be created by Power Apps. Right? Canvas apps,
Model driven apps and portals.
Yes.
And Dataverse.
model driven apps,
Dataverse and portals are also there, but it is not.
and portals. For model driven apps, you will need to have Microsoft Dataverse. Right? Canvas app doesn't require those information. So Canvas app is a kind of application that is based out of any other data models as well. We jumped on to learning about Microsoft model driven apps first, and we came to understand, and we came to a part where we understand about data modeling. Right?
Yes.
What is data modeling?
Creating the columns and
creating tables, creating columns, defining relationships between them. One more concept that we understand at the last day is the security model, which can be implemented for database, right? We understand that these all are part of environments, right? So there would be an environment associated with your table columns. That is something that covered up in the data modeling section. We created a data model and then we jumped onto Canvas apps. Canvas apps, there are two formats for Canvas apps. What are those formats? Tablet and phone.
yes.
Right?
Yes.
All right. This Canvas apps has certain elements such as galleries, forms, medias, icons, buttons, screens. We also understand that Power Automate can also be used in Canvas apps. I hope you are remembering all this. It's been like 30 days we've been training on this.
Yes, sir.
Okay. We understand that in Canvas application, the magical place where everything happens is the formula. Right? Which are applied to the properties. So Canvas app has its name known as controlled focused approach.
Yes.
Whereas model-driven apps are known as component focus approach. Right? Why? Because we use different components, forms, right? Views, graphs. These are some of the components of the model-driven app. Let me know if anything I'm missing, okay? Then in this, we understand how we can test our application, how we can publish it, how we can share these applications, how we can export these applications. Remember, there is a key difference between exporting Canvas apps and model-driven apps. Canvas apps can be exported standalone, but for model-driven apps, they have to be exported along with the solution. So for model-driven apps, we have to export it along with the solution. But Canvas apps can be exported individually. Did we export and move one application from one environment to another?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. What else did we cover with this particular Canvas apps and model-driven apps? We understand that how they can be used in different platforms. How Canvas apps can be used in SharePoint. How Canvas apps can be used in Microsoft Teams. Canvas apps can also consume data from SharePoint. It can consume from Dataverse. It can consume from Excel. It can consume from SQL. So any database.
But model-driven app only database.
Model-driven apps can only consume from Microsoft Dataverse. You must understand these differences between Canvas apps and model-driven apps. We also understand that how flows can be started. So starting a flow from Canvas app. So to introduce that, we jumped on into Power Automate, which is a complete new tool that we learned about. So Power Automate. In Power Automate, we learned about different types of flows that can be created.
Yes.
The first one was automated cloud flow.
Instant.
And the second one was instant cloud flows. And the third one was scheduled cloud flow. Example of automated cloud flow is an email, change in Dataverse, right? Change of record in database. It can be any database. It can be SharePoint, anything. Instant cloud flow. Button flow. Button in Power Apps. Right? Schedule cloud flow. Example is every Monday or based out of a time.
Right, and
for everything that we learned with Power Automate and Power Apps, we do understand that for both of them, we have templates available. So if there is anything new that we wanted to learn, the best way is to learn from the templates, right? So we learned about all of them and we did create flows for every information here. Now let me go ahead and see. And let's see if we have created examples of this or not. Have we went and understand plan 1 and plan 2? Did we understand what is plan 1 and plan 2 by practicing it or by adding plan 1 and plan 2?
Yes, yes.
Did we create a canvas apps and model-driven apps? We did create canvas apps in tablet mode and phone mode as well. We also created a model-driven apps where we created tables, columns, and relationships. Gallery forms, media, icons, buttons, and screens are something that we did interact with. We tested them, published them, exported them from one. For each of these flows, whether it is an automated cloud flow, whether it is an instant cloud flow, or whether it is a scheduled cloud flow, we created one flow, for example, of every types of flow that we have. So now if you ask me that if you guys are expert with Power Automate and Power Apps, I would say yes, for sure. You guys should be able to create solutions that are part of Power Automate and Power Apps. So feel free, very confident about you are going to create solutions that are based out of Power Automate and Power App Canvas apps. How do you feel about this? If there are any solutions from clients that are coming up, would you be able to create solutions for them?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
In overall, we saw two scenarios, but in between we had a lot of examples and discussions on how different things can be implemented, how formulas can be applied, how you can use Microsoft Dataverse, how you can use Power Automate. If you ask me what is next, then there is one certification that you can always go ahead with, which is from Microsoft, which is known as PL 900. This is the starting level certification for Microsoft Power Platform, which is known as Exam PL 900 Microsoft Power Platform Fundamentals. So the PL 900, so there are certain levels. First is the fundamental level. Then going forward, you will also have Then going forward, you might have app maker. Then the next thing that you would see is functional consultant. Then you have developer. And at last, you have solution architect. Can you give me 2 minutes, please? Can you hear me? Yes. So let me bring my machine. I don't know, today my Wi-Fi is really troubling a lot. OK, so these are the levels in which Power Platform is divided. So app maker, then you go for functional consultant, then for developer, then also for solution architect. So the starting level is known as PL 900. The exam code is PL 900, certification code. Then this is known as PL 100, 600. So fundamental is all about this particular exam, which is from Microsoft, and which will take you to tour about all the fundamental things that we have learned so far. We did not cover other such as, Power BI and Power Virtual Agent, but you always can go ahead and learn it from here. I'll share this with you so that in your free time, you can always go ahead and learn about these tools. And if you have any doubt with, further certifications on further how you could certify yourself, further trainings as well, you can always reach me out. I hope you all have LinkedIn connections with me.
No, sir.
Yourself, just go ahead and learn about these tools. And if you have any doubt with, further certifications on further how you could certify yourself, further trainings as well, you can always reach me out. I hope you all have LinkedIn connections with me.
No, sir.
No. Let me share my LinkedIn with you. Guys, everyone go ahead to learning enhancement tool and see if you can access recordings. Let me know what is the last recording that you see. This is very mandatory for everyone to check. I've also shared my LinkedIn. Guys, please confirm for recordings.
Only day 4, sir. Like.
Yes, sir. 20 recordings are coming. It will be added one today.
Yeah, the last one will be added today. Okay. So Abhishek can see it.
Yes, sir.
Chandan. Yes.
Yes.
Sumit. Sumit.
Yes, sir. Wait, like I'm just.
We're trying to access. Okay. Rifakat.
Yes, sir. Access, sir. 20 days, sir.
Rifakat.
Yes, sir. We can see, sir.
Recording, you can see it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Good. Can any one of you share your screen, please? Anyone? Abhishek, please go ahead, share your screen.
Yes, sir. Yeah, my screen is visible.
Okay.
Yes.
Show me the page. With the LED portal. Okay. Scroll up to the top.
Yeah, this is.
Okay. You also have, since you have you all have completed the training, you have option to download certificate at the top.
Okay, sir.
Right?
But sir,
Go ahead and open that on the new tab. So this is your certificate.
Sir, what happened to me that full name is not coming. Name will be